ball game tonight. They're not looking past you at all.
I hope he's right. We played them, excluding the district game last year where we lost by 3 points. We played them 5 other times in the last 2 years, and we've lost by a total of 81 points, or as you can figure, 16 points per game. So we've got our hands full here tonight, and we're coming in here and hoping that we can be respectable. But in the same token, we're also hoping that we can win and not come away and be respectable with a 3 or 4 point loss.
Right. Well, Bill, I know that there are a lot of people in your corner, and the Packers have had a tough year this year as far as the wins and losses are concerned. But you're building a club here, and it's something that I know about you, that you're working toward building Largo into a bigger basketball community as such, and it takes some time.
Yes, it does, Ray. We've only won, as we said earlier, 4 times this year. 2 of those, of course, have been in overtime. One of them in double overtime, and they were exciting wins. And this team here tonight, they've got a lot of courage. They haven't folded when the games were close at the end. So maybe if we can get close here tonight against Dunedin, we could push one across.
Well, your big scorer is Campbell, right? He's your outside shooter, Paul?
Yes, Paul is. He's averaging 14.2 points per game coming in here tonight. And at one stretch during the season there, he hit on 28 consecutive free throws. And during
beat that.
No, you can't. And we also keep it during practice. And one day during practice, he got a string going and got up as high as 34.
Who's going to jump center for you tonight, Coach?
We'll have Paul jump center for us.
Paul will jump, and how about in the backcourt? Let's talk about a couple of your men back there.
Well, we're going to start junior Bob Chris tonight, and Terry Wheaton's going to be out there. He's been ailing with ankles and that. And in the underneath, we'll probably have John Campbell at one of the forwards, and number 25 Greg Cremines at 6'3" junior will play the center post for us.
So you won't be. You'll be going with Friss. I don't believe you started him against Clearwater, did you?
No, Friss is a last-minute substitution here just as of tonight. And he's been hitting in practice the last couple of days, and I think he's got enough poise, and it'll be a tremendous challenge for the boy.
How big is he?
Bob is 6 foot right on the nose.
Well, listen, I want to wish you a lot of luck tonight against this Dunedin club. I started to say wish you. We look for a good game. Are you going to play a control-type game? You're going to try to keep their scoring down and try to get ahead, or?
We are, Ray. We're hoping to hold it down. We're also going to try to shut off West as best we can, and we certainly can't forget about 4 other players on the team because they've got 3 or 4 boys that can hit very well from outside. But I think they try to go to West, and we've got to shut that off. If we can shut that off and contain from outside, and if they will oblige us by not hitting very well from outside, it could be very interesting.
Well, Bill, if you win tonight, you play Clearwater tomorrow night. If you do, I'd sure like to chat with you again.
Thank you, Ray. Thanks very much.
Okay, head coach Bill Schroeder of the Largo High Packers meeting Dunedin here in just a few minutes. And tonight's Coach's Corner has been presented with the best wishes of Don Olson Firestone, Clear, Missouri in Clearwater, and at US 60 at 19 in Clearwater.
Meeting at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, the Alligator said they're meeting at the 50-yard line to toss a coin. We've got a great group here tonight, I'll tell you, up in the press section of our broadcasting area. We have the Dunedin Falcons warming up to our left, and to our right, the Largo Packers. Both clubs are hoping for a win tonight. The winner will meet the Clearwater High Tornadoes tomorrow night. Following this game, stay with us because we'll be on the air with the Northeast Vikings Seminole High ball game, and that'll be coming up at about roughly 7:30. We look for a stall game tonight to be played by Largo if they can get a little bit of a lead. They plan to hold the ball a bit, and Dunedin has used that tactic in the past, and I'm sure that Bill Bates expects it again this evening. And as far as the Dunedin club is concerned, I'm quite sure that they won't be stalling at all tonight. They'll be running. Now, tomorrow night might be a different story if they win and get to play Clearwater. So we'll look for probably a very low-scoring game, this first one, but sometimes you never know if somebody gets into foul trouble or something happens that you can't play that kind of a game, and it may be a running game all the way. So we'll just have to wait and see. But right now, the game plan as such for Bill Schroeder and the Largo Packers is control basketball. We'll be back with more in just a moment. There's your automobile performing Packers. They'll be going in the backcourt with Terry Wheaton, a 5'11 senior, and Bob Friss, a 6-foot junior, who is going to get the starting nod at the last-minute decision. Just a hunch on the coach of Bill Schroeder. Going to start him. Paul Campbell will be jumping center, but he won't be playing in a high post or anything. Paul will go off on a forward position. John Campbell, another 6-foot senior, will be playing up front along with him. And Greg Creemans, who is a 6'4 junior, will be in that high post, but will not be jumping center. So that's the way the Largo Packers line up. Let's take a look at the Dunedin Falcons now. In the backcourt for the Falcons will be a 5'11 senior, Jeff Hayes, and he'll be in the backcourt along with Jamie Gorlich, a 6-foot sophomore. The tallest man will be jumping center, Howard West, a 6'1 1/2 senior. Dave Holmes, a 6'2 senior, and Tommy Williams, a 6'2 junior, round out the starting five tonight for the Dunedin High Falcons. Both clubs are expected to substitute quite freely, but those are the starting five anyway for the Largo Packers and the Dunedin High Falcons. Falcons warming up to the left of your radio dial, the Packers to the right. There's plenty of room here. Hardly anyone here, as a matter of fact, to be very blunt about it. So if you're from Largo or Dunedin or from Clearwater, want to come down and see some basketball, it's $1.50 for adults, $1 for students, and that one admission is good for 3 games. So come on down. You got 3 big games to watch tonight. Jerry?
You know, your best assurance of satisfaction in settling insurance claims is to deal with an independent insurance agent like Condon Meek Incorporated, 1211 Court Street in Clearwater. Condon Meek writes insurance. Taking place right now, Rick Wager of the public address system. He's also the official scorer. The officials of the tournament we may run down. Of course, the principal of Clearwater High School, Mr. William Justice, is the not the person, well, he is the main person in charge, I guess the person with the final say. General Director is Norm Weaver. Mr. Garrett L. Williams, of course, the Garnet L. Williams, pardon me, the Assistant Principal, Earl W. Brown, Athletic Director, and Jack Wilson is the varsity basketball coach. Tournament Director, as we said, is Norm Weaver. So that's the people in charge of the get-together tonight. About ready to tip off, Raymond.
Okay, and the last-minute starter is Willie Harris, a 5'6 junior for Dunedin, in place of Tommy Williams, a 6'2 junior. Here's your tip, and it's controlled, and it's going to be a jump ball. Holmes will be jumping along with Greg Creemans, a 6'4 junior. Holmes is a 6'2 senior. So a jump ball on the tip, and we're set to toss it up again. Creemans taps it twice, but it's pulled off by Jamie Gorlich. Young sophomore loses the ball, and it's going to be controlled, picked up by Paul Campbell. So Campbell quickly up court with the ball. Gives off now on the left side to John Campbell. Now in a high post it comes to Creemans. Creemans cross court with it to Paul Campbell. Now it goes to Terry Wheaton, and on the outside to John Campbell. Now to Paul Campbell. Bounce pass, and we got a foul being called on Jamie Gorlich as he fouled Creemans, trying to pick up that bounce pass. First personal foul of the ball game. And inbounding will be John Campbell for Largo. John looks for some help. Gives to Creemans, gets it right back. Campbell goes to the left corner, back outside with the basketball to Terry Wheaton. Wheaton played a football player, guarded by Harris. Now it comes off to Paul Campbell in the left-hand corner. Paul driving the lane, doesn't shoot. Gives to John Campbell. No score here. We expect a very controlled-type game being played by Largo. The Packers with the basketball. John Campbell out at the top of the circle, trying to come around Holmes. Gives the basketball now to Beeman underneath, and it's knocked away by Harris. Putting it into play, coming in underneath to pick it up is John Campbell, and we've got a substitution already into the ball game. Coming in, have to pick that up for you. Number 24, I don't even have one here, Jerry, for Largo. On the outside with the basketball is Terry Wheaton. Wheaton guarded closely by Harris. Greg Anderson, yes, we do have him. I'm sorry, he's a 5'11 senior in there now. Bounce pass knocked out of bounds by Howard West. So Largo has managed to kill 1 minute and 15 seconds. Dunedin yet to score, but neither have they. Okay, in with the basketball. John Campbell comes to Terry Wheaton. Wheaton guarded very closely by Harris. Gets by him, comes to the left side of the circle. Creemans driving, shooting, missing, no whistle, and down with the ball is Gorlich. Gorlich clears it off as Dunedin gets the basketball in control for the first time. Willie Harris On the left side to Gorwich. Now on the right, it goes to Holmes. Bounce pass underneath to Dave Holmes. Now on the outside to Willie Harris at the top of the circle. Largo playing a very tight zone. They're going to try to cut West off if they possibly can. Here's Gorwich breaking. Doesn't get the pass. Trying to come around him is Jeff Hayes. Hayes shoots and misses. Wheaton has the ball. Dunedin not playing a man-to-man. They're playing strictly a zone. Still no score. We've gone by 2 minutes in this first quarter. We expected this will be very low scoring. Wheaton with the basketball. Goes to Creemans. Now on the right side to Paul Campbell. Now to Creemans driving the lane. Way up, miss, but he got fouled. That's what they're trying to do, pick up those fouls underneath. They get a chance to drive. Dave Holmes picks up his first personal, and that's the second of the night for the Packers of Largo.
These games are real easy to score, Ray.
Yes, they are, Jerry, but they're not too easy to broadcast with two teams we really haven't been following all year. Greg Creeman shoots and makes. First point of the ball game. 2 minutes and 10 seconds had gone by. And Largo has that 1-0 lead. Next one is up. No good. Rebound action. Creemans gets it. He's going to try and drive and put it back up. Shoots. It's partially blocked. And Holmes quickly clears it off to Willie Harris, but he can't get in as Paul Campbell fell back beautifully on defense. Now it comes to Jamie Gorwich. Now to Harris. Now on the right side, it goes to Hayes. Back to Gorwich on the left. To the top of the circle, Willie Harris with the basketball. Trying to get it inside if possible. They've got Hayes on the right side. Moving in a low post underneath is Howard West. He's yet to get the ball tonight. He's got it gets it now. Guarded closely by John Campbell. Shoots and scores. So West gets the first field goal of the night for either club. And now Dunedin presses. Wheaton breaks it nicely. Gets it up to Creemans. Now it comes to Paul Campbell. Paul with the basketball. He's the high scorer. Averages 14 points for Largo. Goes to Terry Wheaton. Bounce pass in the high post to Creemans. No one was breaking. Creemans would have had a man had he broke. He would have had a man open underneath. Okay, Campbell with the basketball. Campbell at the top of the circle. Comes on the right side to Terry Wheaton. Guarded closely by Willie Harris. Back outside with the basketball is Paul Campbell. And drawing the duties of guarding him out there is Hayes. He gets by him. Drives, loses the ball off his foot. But then it's kicked by Dunedin. And it should be Largo ball. It's 2-1, Dunedin with the lead. Creemans has a foul shot for Largo, and West has a field goal for Dunedin. Okay, the man breaking outside. It comes to Terry Wheaton. Wheaton trying to drive on Harris. Bounce pass right side. Campbell shoots for the first time. In and out. Tipped up, and Anderson doesn't get the tip in, and it's controlled by Dunedin now as Holmes came down with the ball. It gives to Gorwich, now to Harris. Harris up over the timeline, going very slowly, coming on the left to Jamie Gorwich. Back to the top of the circle to Harris, and now on the right side it goes to Hayes. Now back on the left to Gorwich. Guarded closely by Creemans in that zone. West is guarded very closely by Terry Wheaton now. Now he gets a switch and draws John Campbell and shoots. Good. So Dunedin is hit twice now from the outside. Howard West is the man. Here's Wheaton trying to break that zone. They got a 2-on-1. Campbell driving to the lane. Fall away is good. 4-3. First field goal for Largo, and Campbell, their man who averages 14 points, Paul, gets the two-pointer. It's 4-3 with 3:40 remaining first quarter. Harris on the left side to Gorwich. Gives now to West. And we got a traveling violation charged on Dave Holmes. So on the turnover, the basketball will go to Largo. They trail by a point, 4-3. West has both field goals for Dunedin, and Paul Campbell has the other. And here's a foul on Harris. And he was going for the ball. It'll be Largo ball at midcourt on a loose foul. That's a third team foul for Dunedin. Largo has none. Okay, with the basketball now is John Campbell. Goes to Creemans in a high post on the outside to Greg Anderson. Now to Paul Campbell. Paul trying to drive on a man. Bounce pass right into the hands of Gorwich. Bad pass by Paul. 4-3 basketball game. And Harris has it at midcourt. Willie Harris with the basketball. On the left side to Gorwich. Now back to Harris. On the right side, Hayes trying to come around Campbell. Passes to West. It's knocked away by Wheaton. Picked up again by Hayes. Shoots from way outside. No good. Rebound. Nice position putting up around the rim. No good. Holmes. And Hayes has it again for Dunedin. Shooting around the rim and it drops through. Jeff Hayes picks up two. He's been the high scorer this year for Dunedin, averaging a little over 17 a game. Quickly up court with the ball is Creemans. 6-3. Largo trailing. Anderson almost lost the basketball, now has control of it. Looks for some help. Dunedin playing very tight defense. Campbell Bounce pass to the top of the circle. Goes to John Campbell. John to the top of the circle to Terry Wheaton. Wheaton gives to Paul Campbell. Campbell got it very closely, gets by one man. Bounce pass goes astray again, and Gorwich picks it up. 2 turnovers in a row by Paul Campbell, and a traveling violation going to be charged on Jeff Hayes. That's a break because Hayes popped one. So Largo will get it on the turnover instead of the 2-point. And John Campbell comes into Greg Anderson. Anderson back to Campbell. Quickly racing up over the mid-stripe. Got a 3-on-1. Here's Creemans. Driving layup. Good. Nice pass. And breaking to the basket was Creemans, 6'5". And they were able to get down court on the 3-on-2. And Largo trails by a point, 6-5. We'll be back in just a moment.